We'd like to begin by acknowledging this traditional territory's longer existence and its significance for the Indigenous people who live and continue to live on Turtle Island. We are situated on traditional Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Huron wetland land. There are Métis and other non-status First People from many Indigenous nations present in our community today. This acknowledgement symbolizes the United Way, KFL&A's first step of many along this path towards Indigenous reconciliation in a respectful manner. Again, good morning and good afternoon at this time. We're going to be cutting into both. So great to be somewhere, and it's great to be here today. We're still not face to face and putting our arms around everybody, but it's a beautiful sunny day. We're virtual again. We're excited to see so many faces, and we're excited to welcome you and celebrate another virtual volunteer awards luncheon. We're getting to be pros at this.
Well, professional is a stretch, but we're getting used to doing it anyway. Let's put it that way.
Well, if we're getting used to it, it's a lot different in this form. As I said, it's the best next thing for us not to be face to face, but we've promised a few times that's coming soon. Soon?
Soon.
How soon? What describes soon?
Soon.
Okay, soon is good.
Soon we will be there. Hey, maybe for the kickoff. Who knows?
You know what? That would be amazing if we could do that, to see everybody at a breakfast again together. A few thank yous in our opening remarks. We want to thank Sandy Mcdonald from Bell and their continued sponsorship. They've been a huge supporter of ours for many, many years, and Sandy will say a few words later and want to thank them. This year, as we did last year, Panchancho Cafe and Bakery provided lunch. Huge shout out to Panchancho and their staff. And of course, Zoe. Zoe does so much for our community, and she's a huge supporter of the United Way. And I want to thank Zoe at this time. As we were bantering about before this got officially started, this week is National Volunteer Appreciation Week. So what a great time to have a huge shout out to our amazing volunteers. I always think of the United Way as a trifecta or a triangle. We've got our donors, we've got our staff, and we've got our volunteers, but our volunteers is what makes everything move along. And so huge thank you to all of those people that aren't here today, but all of you that are here today. Also, the workplace campaigns, without all that individual money that we get, and they've been a little bit different the last couple of years, but we've been slowly getting back to these campaigns in the workplace, and they're critical to what we do and how we raise money and how we build momentum in the community. And I want to thank everybody for that and their continued support and the creative ideas and the things that have been going on behind the scenes, getting ready for the kickoff in the fall. So thank you again. Obviously, because we're not in person, we'll be listing off the workplaces in a PowerPoint presentation or a little video here shortly. And any awards that are given out here today, we'll make sure that you get those as well. I don't know if it's my pleasure, but it's but here's Darren.
Thanks for that wonderful introduction, Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to bring back to the microphone again our 2021 campaign chair, Darren Dougal.
Thanks, Pat. And it is an honor and a pleasure to be back and to recognize the successes that I was able to enjoy because of the work that you folks do. And you know, I've only got, I think, 15 or 20 hours on the agenda today, so I couldn't possibly thank everybody. But as Pat said, it's the volunteers, it's the people behind the scenes that are behind the success of the campaign. And I want to remind folks, and it's important as we move into 2022 campaign soon, that the campaign isn't about raising money. Our thermometer would make you think that, and our media would make you think that, but it really is about meeting the needs of our community. And that's the piece that's so important. I mean, money does enable that, but it's all the efforts, it's the work, it's the hard work of folks like you that are making sure that our agencies are able to support the people that they serve, the people from our community that they serve. So It really is about meeting the needs of our community. And those needs, as everybody knows, are changing all the time. As we pivot away from the depth of the pandemic and move to a different space, those needs don't change. And certainly the volume don't change. On my way out here from downtown Kingston, I was driving along and 3 people on the side of the road that were in need of money. Every one of them polite. I rolled down the window and talked to one of them, and clearly in need. Nobody wants to stand on a sidewalk and ask folks for money. It's a need that they have and that we need to step up to the plate to do. And you folks did an incredible job. Every workplace, I know how hard it is sometimes in a workplace to reach out and ask people for money. But you did it, and you generated an unprecedented amount of money to support the people in our community. So from the bottom of my heart, as your campaign chair going out the door, quicker if Pat could grab a hold of me and wrestle me out the door, but as your campaign chair going out the door, I really, really want to acknowledge that support. And I look around this table and I think of what contributed to that success. I look at Jim and Julie Parker, like, the matching grant, the challenge grant that you did to make sure that everybody that stepped up at a leadership level, their impact was instantly doubled. And then Jessica Bain Hogan, even further, for any woman that gave at the leadership level, ended up with her support by tripling that impact. So these are the people that are behind the scenes, quietly doing what they can and are making our campaign such a success. Our labor folks, our partners, and so incredibly important partners in making sure that this campaign not only gets into workplaces, but that there's a very high degree of participation amongst our labor friends. And the success is shown over and over again by what they do to support the work that we do. Friends of mine, Paul and Ray Ronaldo at RDR Wealth Management, stepped up very early on in the pandemic and did an incredible job. I reached out to many friends through, one of the things I learned being campaign chair was you tap your friends. And, I reached out to the legal community, something that has never had a really organized campaign. Because they're independent operators or independent business owners, and they're professionals, and they kind of do their business. They do lots of philanthropy behind the scenes, but we're never really engaged in the United Way campaign. And this year, through the work of Liz Foxton and Sarah Black and John Scorapata, Carla McGrath, they came together at the campaign and raised thousands and thousands of dollars for the first time ever, acknowledging that kind of work. Lots of other workplaces, some brand new workplaces that I was so honored to be able to walk into, new businesses in Kingston and old businesses. There was one business in Lennox and Addington that's been around for 140 years, Lennox and Addington L&A Mutual Insurance. They started a campaign this year and made an incredible donation to the organization, to the United Way, and to the work that goes to support the people in their community, which is KFL&A, just like ours. I'm grateful. I'm honored and privileged to have been the face of the campaign for the last year. Pat will disagree with this, but you actually made me look good. But you made yourselves look even better. I was never worried when I went into this campaign. I always knew that our community would step up and support the most vulnerable people in our community and the most at need. And you did exactly what I knew that we would do. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank every workplace that's contributed, every individual that's volunteered, the staff at the United Way, the board, my friends, the cabinet. We have this wonderful entity called the Campaign Cabinet that works diligently behind the scenes, meeting early mornings when I remember to attend the meeting and I'm not sitting on my dock somewhere. They're working away behind the scenes, building the infrastructure and the decision-making that's so important to the success of the campaign. So thank you for that incredible work that you don't often get recognized for, but I know how valuable it is. And for everybody that has supported the United Way campaign, that supported the people in our community, I really want to thank you. And speaking of thanks, I have the fortune and privilege to introduce, as I said at the beginning, one of my most favorite people in the entire universe, Sandy Mcdonald, the regional director of Bell's Community Affairs. And Bell supports this event, obviously, and has done so for a long time. Bell also has had people involved, Greg Hinton and Sandy Mcdonald. We're going to hear a little bit about Greg. But Bell does so much else in our community. I'm involved a little bit with the Bell Let's Talk mental health initiative and the grant programs that go out. I know that the work that Bell does behind the scenes in supporting our community and the work that Sandy does in terms of sponsorship and all just to make sure that the people in our community are okay. So Sandy, welcome from south of Ottawa. Glad you could join us today. And I want to turn it over to you.
You really hurt Pat's feelings though when you said I was your favorite person. He actually got a little teary over here, so sorry about that. But you know, I'm really so excited to be here. It's my my first trek out in 2 years to a business event, really out of town. So this is a great one to get my feet wet again on. So thanks so much for inviting me to be here today. It's always great to be here celebrating your achievements, especially during National Volunteer Week. You're all in very good company. I don't know if you probably know this, but you know approximately 24 million Canadians volunteer per year. And at Bell, we're thrilled that in 2021, our team members reported 80,000 volunteer hours. And we know that this is a number that is likely very low because that's just what was reported. So we're really proud of that. Maya Angelou said, I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being there for your community in so many ways, for recognizing and supporting that the United Way guarantees a home run for this region each and every time that you step up to the plate. On behalf of all of my colleagues here in KFL&A, congratulations on your achievements. Always outstanding results. And thank you so much for volunteering and for committing to building a stronger, more connected community. It's really the best that we can do, isn't it? So thank you. It is now my honor to present the Voice of Community Award. The Voice of Community Award is a tribute to one of my colleagues, Greg Hinton from Bell Media, who used his voice over the years to lift up so many in so many different ways. The award is in recognition of funded agencies who participate in the United Way's Speakers Bureau. Agency volunteers and staff do such incredible work in the community and additionally take time during the campaign to speak at so many events and workplaces. And I know I've experienced listening to some of these folks and it really is, it's so impactful, really brings the message home. This year, the award goes to, drumroll, nobody, Sean Sargent. Sean Sargent is board chair for Lionhearts, Inc. and is receiving the Voice of Community Award. He has been a speaker with the United Way Speakers Bureau for the last 2 years, sharing stories and raising awareness about the need for the United Way. Last year alone, he made numerous presentations through virtual and in-person events at workplaces and panel discussions. He's the operations manager at Lionhearts, Inc., which is a volunteer position. His daytime job is account manager at Microwage Kingston. Congratulations, Sean. Great. Enjoy the rest of the event. Thanks for sharing your time with me today.
Thank you, Sandy.
Sean, you going to speak?
You're welcome.
Turn it over to you,
all,
Sean.
For sure. It's been said that one of the best prizes in life is to have the chance to work hard at work worth doing. I think that embodies our United Way. And yes, I said ours. I don't have a reference point for perspective for other United Way agencies across the country, but I have been fortunate to see what ours is doing each and every day. Here at Lionhearts, we couldn't have done the work we did throughout the pandemic without the resources, funding, leadership, and support of our United Way. We served over 357,000 meals between March 2020 and September 2021. And last year, we rescued $4.1 million worth of food and household goods for redistribution to frontline agencies. Late last year, we were presented with an urgent need to find emergency food and shelter for dozens of underhoused neighbors. And within mere weeks, we saw the warming center on Concession Street come to be. And that was done directly in partnership with our United Way, the City of Kingston, Home-Based Housing, and the Kingston Street Mission. A few short weeks ago, we opened the new community food redistribution warehouse. And it opened its doors as a collaboration from many community agencies. And 2 short days later, 60,000 pounds of potatoes arrived on the dock, a donation that could not have been accepted previously here in Kingston. Next on the agenda was a need raised by the Food Sharing Project, an amazing organization that ensures every student across our region has access to nutritious food throughout the school day. They were hearing from teachers that there was a big need for supports on the weekend for those students coming from most food insecure households. That partnership now sees hundreds of kids and their families cared for on the weekends. I'm talking a lot about collaboration and partnership. And it's because of the leadership of our United Way, bringing agencies together to try and tackle some of the most challenging and complex problems we have in our community. Over the years, those who have gone before us have created a legacy, a foundation from which our United Way can be nimble and can respond to those urgent needs in such amazing ways. Together, we are transforming the life experiences of
Good
so
morning, KPMG.
many
This is Tiffany. How
of
may I
our
help you?
neighbors. We're working to change unjust systems, and we're making a measure of our work in lives saved. You have done this. You have made this possible. And we are the United Way of Kingston, Frontenac, Lennox, and Addington.
Amazing.
Yes, absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
Sean, thanks so much. I think what absolutely blows me away is that I know that you're the operations manager at Lionhearts. When I first realized that you were doing that, I thought that was your actual job. I didn't know that it was a volunteer position. Like, I was absolutely blown away. And so tip of the cap to you and all the things that have been going on in the last 2 years with you and Travis, and how things have, become bigger and better and bigger and better and better and better and better in our community and everybody involved. But it also takes people like yourself rolling up their sleeves and getting involved in something like that. And again, it's gigantic. And I love that little saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You guys are onto an elephant, right? And it's amazing what you guys have been able to work with and gather and progress with. So thank you so much. It's an honor that we're here today and get to see people like you getting awards like this. And it's important to Volunteer Week. It's important to our United Way, and it's important that our volunteers see and hear from someone like yourself. Another little part of that, and as we get older and as other people come in behind us, we'll forget about some things. And one person I don't want to forget about is Greg Hinton. And I didn't know Greg very well, but I met him at a couple of the next gen pool parties. We weren't swimming, right? We were playing pool at Racks. And my first recollection of meeting Greg, and I've said this before, was like, came right over, handshake. We were both a little bit old to be at the next gen pool party, but we were both there. He was funny, he was infectious, he was positive, and he made everybody in the room laugh. He was a big voice. And I don't think that there's an award more fitting to have a name attached than Greg Hinton. So it's quite an honor, I think, for you to get that. So I just wanted to let everybody know about Greg as well. Now, we're going to be, because again, we're not all together and in the same room, we are going to show some workplaces, some of our volunteers, highlight some of the awards. And luckily for everybody that's at home right now or at work, Darren and I will comment on everything as it goes along. So let's roll our PowerPoint presentation.
nice. Congratulations. Oh, look at that. Homestead.
Always a huge supporter.
Barbecue.
Oh, I wish we had one right now.
That's your neighbor. Costco. Nice. I see a theme. Barbecue.
I love the barbecues.
Food and fun.
KPMG, huge supporters every year.
Enbridge, massive.
Massive supporters.
Empire, great campaign for the retirees
Absolutely amazing.
and the employees, for sure. Look at that number. All of our folks at the correctional institutions in Kingston, the backbone to our community. Goodyear, one of my favorite spots to go tour. It's the cleanest plant I've ever seen, besides Vista. It's foundation to our community. Of course, our friends at the hospital and in the health sciences, which is fantastic support both to our community and to the campaign. More food. Even teachers have to eat. There you go. More of our healthcare folks. Our incredible support from the Velas, they're just the leaders in our campaign. And Queens, where's that number? Amazing contributions.
And the
Both
retirees.
students, retirees
Yeah.
and staff. Yeah.
BC, a huge supporter. Again, the theme of all these people pitching in, it's not one person doing everything. In our community, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Everybody's involved.
And the agencies, you know, the Epilepsy Kingston, the agencies that also have active campaigns. That's incredible. Utilities. Always a great group to come and present at. I'm sure Sean probably presented there. Again, and the agencies that had great campaigns. A couple of businesses I need to learn about in here. Asante, fantastic supporters. LCBO, I contributed several dollars to their campaigns.
Just
Point of
because
sale.
it was going on.
Yeah, I only went there because of the United Way campaign. And of course, our own staff at United Way, they're incredible supporters as well. Youth Diversion, near and dear to my heart. The Girls Inc. as well. These are small agencies that have incredible campaigns as well. Almost 100% participation in most of them. It's great. Platinum and Bronze Award winners. Eight night. Great idea. In our financial sector, they're just always involved.
RPC and Dundee, and employees at Collins Bay Institution.
Yeah, the correctional staff, they really could step forward. Maltby Center, again, an organization that does some great work.
Great people at BMO as well, Nesbitt Burns.
One of our financial friends. And our local governments and our local agencies. And our friends at Kingston Police. Angie McNeely last year, the chief, was a great campaign chair as well.
Thank
Created
goodness
some-
she's on our side.
Yeah, created some space for me, I'll tell you. Really cleared the way. And our friends in the Ontario Public Service. Yeah, incredibly proud of the efforts that all of our OPS members did this year. McDougall, another great barbecue that day, I remember.
St. Lawrence College, near and dear to my heart.
All of our post-secondary institutions do such a great job. CUPE, again, our friends in local labor, incredible support. And there's our friends at the Labor Council, wonderful. Labor is so incredibly important to the work that we do, Pat. Like it just, they really energize their friends and their members. And our media, wow. Could we have done the campaign without media? Like, not a chance.
Bell Media Group again and Reed, great guys. Make me laugh just thinking of them.
Imagine if we had to spend money on the advertising. You know, there's so much donated and generated to to make our ability to get the words out.
And everybody, again, not just one, everybody.
That was a good looking guy on that limestone lens. Did you see
No,
that?
I didn't see that.
Whoa.
I missed it.
Should go back to that, maybe just keep that up permanently. Local love, that is what it's all about. for sure.
Again, it's amazing how many people are involved, the people that we recognize, all the different businesses and all the agencies. And as we talk about today, if it wasn't for all of these people, what happens at touchdown time doesn't happen.
And those almost 400,000 meals don't get served at Lionhearts.
Astounding statistics, that's for sure. And then through COVID, and again, we're not out of that yet, but again, we need all of these people to help us and help out along the way. And we appreciate everything that everybody does for our community in so many ways. I guess now we're gonna do some breakout tables,
Sounds like it, yeah.
right? So, which is great. So do not go away. You'll be transported. Well, this is the best part, right? You're just transported into a group of people that you may know or you may not know. Introduce yourselves, talks among the group, share some ideas, share lots of great stories, and do not go away. You'll be transported back probably after 15, 20 minutes. And we will be making our announcement for the 2022 campaign chair. And Darren will be letting you know who will be taking over from him. I'm excited about that.
I am excited to hand over the role for sure.
Okay. I was just excited about maybe you not being beside me.
Oh, isn't that nice?
No.
Okay, beam me up, Scotty. Transport me quick.
Let's get to the groups. Darren and I'll be together for the groups, though. That's the best part. Any amazing stories?
Not in my group.
Not in your group, eh? Okay, well, I'll tell one then. We found out that during our little.
No, I was there.
Well, we found out that Darren doesn't prep for this at all, and it's just all off the cuff, and he didn't do any background for this. So
We had a good time. That was a good chat. Thank you.
How'd you get on that side of me?
we flipped. I don't know what everyone's seeing now, but you still look good. Just so you know, if you're worried about that.
I'm just wondering if you can do that kind of magic, move me around. Is there something you can do? Maybe here, maybe a little bit of the gray out of the beard. I don't know. I love TV. I love media.
It's for those that have stuck around, and actually everybody did. If not, I think we picked up a few more people actually,
Nice.
which is even better. I'm going to turn it over to you, Darren, for an introduction. It's all up to you.
So I hope folks did enjoy the breakout room. It is an opportunity to kind of hear different stories and how successes were achieved, and maybe some challenges and pitfalls, but most important to celebrate this campaign. And it is my swan song today. It's my opportunity to hand over the well, actually, they don't give you anything, so I'm not sure what I can. They just say, hey, would you mind taking this phone call from the previous campaign chair, and then you're kind of in it. But I didn't have to do that this year because we have a phenomenal campaign chair for 2022 who needed no convincing, and I'm honored to introduce the 2022 campaign chair as Jane Lapointe, Senior Wealth Advisor with Asante Financial, a Fenland division. Jane arrived in Kingston in 1995. 85. I think that was the year I was born. And she's been an active volunteer. She has been involved in lots of different activities in the community. She believes in the individual ability to make positive change and to make a difference in people's lives. She's been involved with the United Way for many years, been an awesome supporter of ours, and both through in your business and personal life. And is going to be, she was involved with Women's United and did a very successful campaign. In our breakout group, we were talking about Women's United and how incredibly impactful that is for our community, both in terms of philanthropy, but also just in terms of awareness. So Jane, your leadership on the Women's United has been unprecedented, and I know the same is going to happen for the 2022 campaign chair. So
thank you, Darren.
Jane Lapointe.
Good afternoon, everybody. Drum roll. Thank thank you, Darren, and thank you for your leadership. I have to say on a personal level that your calm and your confidence in our collective ability to be successful was infectious throughout the entire 2021 campaign. You were very clear to us in terms of your message that if we just showed up and did the job, success would come. You always knew that we had both the heart and the grit to make it happen. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and from everybody here in the workplace campaigns for your leadership and for your steady belief in our community as well.
Thanks, Dave.
And yes, they didn't give me anything either when they called me. So to everybody out there in our Zoom room, I want to say thank you to you. I celebrate you. Everybody here celebrates you. We know that 2021 was another difficult year, both at work and at home, and yet you rose to the occasion. It really is incredible the work that you have done, and we recognize that and we acknowledge that. We know that there were challenges, like I said, but you were able to dig deep and be creative and be nimble. 62% of the funds raised during this campaign were a direct result of your hard work. That is reason to celebrate. So we really do thank you. I look forward to working with you in the coming year. We hope that we're out of some of the challenges that we've experienced for the past 2 years, but there's always going to be new challenges to come. What we know is if we follow the lead that was set by Darren, we show up, we do the work, the results will come. We also know that there's continued need in our community. There's still so much need. There's so much reason. I always think that as volunteers, we come to volunteering for very different reasons. The reasons we stay is because of the impact we see that we make. And this group in this Zoom room knows that already. So it is my sincere hope that you will join me again for the 2022 United Way campaign. I want to have some more fun, hopefully keeping these two guys not too far away from us all, raise some money, and continue with that same heart and grit that we all know that we do have. Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a great day. It goes quick. I think it goes quicker when we do it virtually because we're not sitting there and actually eating at the same time. So I know we're all fading away to nothing because we've had nothing to eat because, you know, everybody was nervous about coming on camera. I know Darren hasn't eaten in a week and he was very scared about being here today, but he did a great job. We're so honored to have Jane as part of our team for next year and our leader. It's going to be an amazing time